Okay, we are live, you guys. Happy Taco Tuesday. Hopefully, you're having a terrific one. We're going to talk about both Bold and The Young and the Restless. I'm going to give it a couple seconds to see all the soapies pop in, and then we're going to dive deep and, have a discussion about this episode. So, pretty interesting stuff on Bold, I gotta say. Both shows are really gearing up for November sweeps, which I'm excited about. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Melissa Spencer. Welcome in. Welcome in. How are you guys doing? LaShanta. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Get comfortable. We're going to talk about these two episodes right quick. Belinda Hill, Miss Mariah, Angela, Mari, Myra, Aisha Jackson, Brooklyn, T.A. Hey, Bree, I should call you. Are you available? Let me know, because I know you probably got a lot to say. I know you have a lot to say tomorrow night on the midweek chat. But let me know if I can bring you up, since you're in here kind of early. I don't know if you're working right now or what the situation is. So let me know if you're available. And we can chat it up right quick, okay? Because, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. All right. So welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk, where we're going to be discussing both Y&R, Young and the Restless, and Bold and the Beautiful for Tuesday, October 29th. And, yeah. I just had to pick these two photos because the way she was looking and Carter's facial reaction. Okay, I'm going to bring you in. All right, Bree, hold on. Give me a second, you guys, because I'm going to bring Bree Girl on since she is available. Give me a second. Yeah, so I'm curious to see everything that Bree has to say, especially about Bold. Hey, Bree Girl.
Hey T, hi Steffies.
Oh my gosh, I know you got some stuff to say about Bold.
I really do.
normally I know you'll pop in on Wednesday night, but I was like, oh yeah, this one here is definitely conversation worthy, I should say.
They are really highlighting this new feud between Steffy and Carter. I think he putting his lawyer hat on. That's all I got to say.
I know. Let's get through Young and the Restless, and then we'll dive deep into Bold for sure.
Okay.
What you got for Y&R? I'll let you kick it off.
I'm still going to stick to my statement that I think Jack has absolutely no clue what's going on. I don't think he has anything to do with what Diane has going on. It's clear as day she has a plan. And when she walked into Victor's office, I knew she's going to try to weasel her way into Glissade and for him to fire Kyle. Which, to be honest, I think he's going to do it.
You think he's going to do it, girl? But
yes.
But you know what? Here's why I think it might be a plan. Because, of course, Kyle is going to go right straight back to Jabot. You know, look at the connection that Jack and Kyle had in today's episode. He's not moving out now. He's staying. And part of the plan is to get Kyle over there. And if that means her sacrificing or creating a plan that would be so tempting that Victor would be chomping off at the bit, which is to get Diane to, because it would be technically like a wife swap thing. So I got your wife, now I'm gonna get yours. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. And then now Kyle's back at Jabot. All Diane got to do is try to get Glissade and let her figure out a way to get it under her name. And she decided to cut ties with Victor and bring Glissade right up under the Jabot umbrella as a cosmetic company. What do you think about that twist?
That would be a really great twist. The only thing about it is like if it's a plan, we would at least have seen like not Kyle, Diane and Jack have like talked like on the phone. There would have been some sort of conversation. Jack is saying he hasn't spoken to his wife. He wants nothing to do with her. There's no level of acting for this. This is Oscar-winning acting if that were to transpire and they're both working together. I can't see that coming from Jack.
But the thing is, Bree, look at it like this. I believe because we're going into November sweeps, it would be also they wouldn't need, if they wanted to shock the fans for shock factor, they wouldn't tell us either.
That's a good point.
It would be something behind the scenes that we never got to see, and then when it all unfolds, then they will show us the flashbacks on how they put it together.
What do you think the proof is going to be? Because Victor asked for her to show proof that she's done with Jack and she's done with Kyle. Do you think she's going to file for divorce?
I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Now, here's the thing. Let's just go with your plot where Diane is working on her own. If there's no prenup, right, or there was a postnup, because there's this whole toss-up. I hear people say there was no prenup, but there was a postnup, but then it was torn up because Jack didn't sign it. Who knows? They might rewrite that whole thing. But let's just go down your pathway with what you had to say. If there's no prenup or postnup in play, and they're going through a divorce, she could get a portion of the company. And if she's working for Victor, that means that it's a possibility that Victor could also own a piece of his company if she decided to bring her piece over to Newman. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
very strong possibility. I mean, she could still do that.
It could go either way. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on which direction the writers want to go. If this is a plot where they, that Jack and Diane are working together and we don't know even as the fans, or if they go down your road and Diane is just doing this all on her own, she's in the position that she could technically destroy Jack if there's no prenup.
And I think that's a proof that she's going to show to Victor to show that she doesn't care for either Kyle or Jack. Mm-hmm. It has to be really extreme. And I don't know how, to be honest, I don't know how far Jack would go with something like this, especially since she's been the main one looking to have like a public outburst. Jack really hasn't. Like I said, unless this is like some Oscar-winning acting from Jack, I just can't see it from him. Especially lying to Tracy of all people. If there was a plan, she would have kept secret about that plan. Especially if the whole goal was to get Kyle back.
But that's the thing, in order to, because remember, they're trying to go up against Victor Newman. Victor Newman has knowledge in places. He got eyes everywhere. And in order to keep their secret rock solid below the surface and where they would have to put on a front to everybody, including their son, including Tracy, because they wouldn't want any of it to leak out, because Victor, he's always 10 steps ahead and he knows what's going on because he got eyes and ears everywhere.
Very true. Very true. I don't know. Unless I see a conversation between Jack and Diane where they do like a replay or like a flashback, to them discussing a plan, then I'll go with it. But for right now, for what I see, Jack is being very emotional about the loss of or basically the destruction of his family. He seems very distraught. But however, to go with your theory, I think it's very interesting in the timing for him to go to Paris. I know he said that he's going there for Ashley, but he can kind of kill two birds with one stone, since a lot of like the previous investors or whoever from Glissade are there. Mm-hmm. And more than likely the chemist for Glissade as well. I'm wondering if he's kind of doing something behind the scenes. So it's very possible they both could be working together. I just see, I mean, Diane is being incredibly ruthless to her family. It's more, and we all knew. Jenna, you knew more than anybody. Jenna and Trish, y'all knew that Diane was up to no good. She was a mess, everything. But
yeah. Yep. So it's going to be interesting to see. I did like the scene in the conversation between Jack and Kyle. And Kyle decided he's not going to move out right now and trying to bridge that relationship with his dad. So, I mean, if it is a plot and he's part of it, it's beginning to work. Now, what did you think about Diane when she came into the GCAC and she was looking weird at them when they were sitting at the bar?
That was my point. Like, if this was a plan, wouldn't she kind of smirk a little bit? But if she's playing in character, I think her reaction was correct. And there was enough time after Kyle had left where Jack and Diane could have had a thumbs up or some sort of smile or some sort of confirmation that their plan is working. Jack didn't pay this woman no mind. It was like she was a stranger at that point. That's why it's hard for me to believe that Jack is even a part of this.
Yeah.
But it was good acting.
It's good acting. I mean, I'm hoping that it's a situation where they're trying to shock us, which is why we haven't seen anything like you were saying, like any conversations behind the scene or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
All right, what did you think about the Amy Lewis Nate thing? You know what? This ties into way back in the spring and late spring, I should say, when there was a casting call for a African American man of middle age. And I was wondering when he was going to come, when they were going to bring this character on. But then we heard about Amy Lewis. But obviously that's who they were casting for. So it looked like Nate got a half brother with it being this guy. What's his name? Damien?
Yeah. He sounds attractive.
I know. I'm curious to find out who they casted.
Me too. Because if he looks like his brother, I'm like, ooh.
And who would be his love interest? I mean, they're bringing Elena back. Right?
Ooh, oh wow! And Amy did say that the father who raised him was also a doctor. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if they're going to tie any of that into Damien's background. And I feel bad for Amy Lewis. Like I said, I can't stand cancer.
Yeah, no, me either.
But I can understand why she wants the two brothers to kind of connect together. I get the whole storyline. It's a beautiful story. But they did make a distinction that Damien is older than Nate.
Yeah, she said a few years older.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think it was 10, 15 years. I think it's maybe anywhere from 3 to 5 years the way it sounds.
Yeah, because I was wondering if there was some overlap that Nate Sr. had between Olivia and Amy. I thought there was some sort of weird over because she said that they met in high school and she had him when he was 60. I was like, oh, how? Okay. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited. I want to see who this fine man is because I know we see Nate's genetics.
I know, and the way that when they did the casting call earlier this year, they said a very attractive African-American man in his 40s. And I'm like, okay, who they bringing on? And so now, 7 months later or 6 months later or so, we got, the person. And I haven't seen anything in soap media about who this is. Normally they'll give us an introduction of the character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he'd be a fresh piece of meat for all the women in Genoa City, including Lily, because she has no, relation ties to that man.
Yeah. So yeah, Damien, that sounds sexy.
Yes, it does. You sound like, let me find out. I'm at the trade Carter and Nate in for Damien. Let me see what he looked like.
I know, right? So I'm curious about that. I'm wondering when they're going to bring him on the scene. Is it like probably part of November sweeps?
Yes, I'm hoping so, but depends on what they're going to bring him as. Like, what is his storyline? Because they said that he was kind of lost in the world.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely going to keep Nate preoccupied. So, and we know how Audra is about her time and her attention. So,
Hey, Bree.
oh, she.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. What are you about to say?
I was going to say that might be Audra's new man. Let's find out she commits to Damien, not Nate.
But you know what? I wonder if he's this lost in the world type of guy. Would Nate try to get him a job over at Winters?
Oh, that's a possibility.
I mean, even though he's not related to Devon, it's still Nate's brother.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she really went into like his background or his education, so they can make him pretty much anything. Mm-hmm. He could be a doctor. He could have an MBA. He can do all these different things for. I don't know. The writers can create what they want, but it's exciting to get a brand new character, y'all.
Yeah, I just want to know who is he fine. I mean, yes. You know, what he looked like. I'm curious. And then for you guys, just to let you know, there were the final characters released for Beyond the Gates as well. So,
I cannot wait to get into the casting of the Men of the Gates, y'all.
Mm-hmm. So we'll talk more about that on Friday, I think. Well, you're not here.
No.
Okay. So I'll wait. Yeah, because I mean the season doesn't start until January, which is...
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah, we got time to talk about it because it just came out, I think, earlier this morning. So... Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So, and she gave an interesting backstory about this half brother and that she was pregnant by Nate Sr. and she kept it a secret and she passed his kids off as being the child of the new guy she was with, and she wanted to take that secret, and so that her son don't even know that Nate Sr. Damien, we'll just call him Damien. Damien doesn't even know that Nate Sr. is his father, or was his father.
Yeah, that was some messiness, but this definitely fits into this soap pedigree. Like, this is the DNA right here.
I know.
Nobody knows who their father is at first.
Yep. All right, what you got on this whole thing with Cricket and Phyllis and Sharon?
I want Phyllis, and I love Phyllis. Please understand, I'm on Phyllis's side, especially with this whole thing, but I'm going to need for her to just calm down for a moment. I know you do not like this woman, Cricket. I know. I don't care for her either. But if she's trying to help out your child, be nice to your lawyer, to your son's lawyer.
Right.
Like, let this woman do her job. And I was grateful for the fact that she's going to kind of play around with the idea that Phyllis was saying about Sharon. I think those two are going to end up finding out that Sharon has something to do with it. I think this is like a great little team effort, and I'm here for it. I just need for Phyllis to calm down.
You know what? This is the first November sweeps that's not focused around one storyline. Because last year it was about Jordan, right? And then on Bold it was about Eric and his illness. This year for Young and the Restless, we got this whole thing imploding with Victor, Diane, and all of that. We got the new guy Damien coming on. We got the Sharon and did she do it or did she not do it situation happening. And we got Abby's wedding going on. And who's to say that something huge or crazy could even happen at Abby's wedding with one of these storylines?
Exactly. Oh, and they're bringing back the Newman Ranch.
That is correct. I mean, I got to give Y&R kudos for this because we got different things to look forward to that's going to culminate to a head.
Yes, they're very grateful for that 4-year contract, and they're trying to give us some great material. I cannot say that for the other show.
Yeah, so that's like a bunch of different bombs exploding all in one month. I like that idea instead of just one big storyline that is trying to get the November sweeps rating. So
yeah, Y&R has been turning it out.
oh
I am
yeah.
very impressed. The acting, everything.
And then somebody TA said it in the comment section. Also, Tracy and Alan, maybe Martin too, because when
Ashley comes back.
right, when Ashley comes back, she's gonna know who's who.
Yep. Oh, this is gonna be so
This is
good.
gonna be one heck of a November sweeps.
I can't wait for it every week too. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. We gotta see. But yeah, Sharon is spazzing out. She can't even keep that secret herself.
No, and you notice how we didn't see Cameron Kirsten.
No. Nope, we saw her talk to Phantom Nick, and then Real Nick came in, and Real Nick is like, "What's going on with you?"
And she's probably going to end up ratting on herself. That's why I think once Cricket and Phyllis find out, I think something's going to happen to where Sharon might end up ratting on herself because she can't take it any longer.
Wait a minute. Did you see Belinda Hill's comment? She said, "What if Alan/Martin was the one that unalived Heather?"
That would be a wild twist because I'm like, how would he know who Heather is?
Well, she lived in Europe. Maybe they crossed. They could easily write it where they crossed paths in Europe somewhere.
I mean that is true. I don't know. That would be a really crazy twist. Even though I have my theory, and I'll share it on Wednesday.
Okay.
It's Lucy. I think Lucy did this.
Oh my goodness! But go ahead, girl.
But that would be a really interesting twist. But Sharon, she can't even hold it together. And my issue is with Nick. He sees this. He been with this woman for almost, been around her for over 30-something years. They got grown children together. Mm-hmm. He can tell the difference in personalities and tell when she is lost in the clouds and can't think straight. Nothing. He just forever dumbfounded by when it comes to this woman. She's acting weird and acting strange, and he's not suspecting that. He's just quick to jump into her defense and then trash Phyllis. I don't like that.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Oh my goodness. And Chance, because Phyllis is like, "You need to talk to me." And I'm like, "Phyllis, just chill out."
The conversation I want to hear, because she brought it up. She's like, well, what did you tell Summer that you arrested her brother? How does she react to that? The look on that man's face, he's not looking forward to that conversation.
Well, I mean, that's what she get for marrying a police officer. I mean, there is, and the way her family, her grandfather's family move, she should be used to that.
Well, she didn't marry him. They're just dating.
They're just dating, right? Yep, I agree.
He gonna turn her right into Kyle's arms real quick.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting because there's supposed to be some type of moment that Kyle and Summer is gonna have that Claire is gonna walk up on later this week. So and obviously Kyle is probably gonna be consoling Summer probably about her brother or something. Who knows?
Oh yeah, so. As we all predicted, she was going to go back to Kyle to some degree.
I hope not. I even though I'm not happy with how they did Chance and Summer, they kind of made them like, because we was excited about this last year this time, right?
Yeah, but if she's not The thing is, she was very self-centered, even being around him, but she was always talking about herself. She barely acknowledged that man half of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I want him to get with a something new, something fresh, because like she was always going to go back to Kyle, even with that whole lawsuit that she had regarding Harrison that never went anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was all pulling her back over to Kyle. Put Chance over there with Lily. Maybe he might, knock some sense into her with the headboard or something.
Oh my God, girl, you so funny. You've been talking to J Money too long.
Yeah, heavily influenced, but it's the truth. I mean, Lily needs help. Carter needs help. They all need help.
Oh, we forgot one part of the whole Diane story, and then we can quickly move over to Bold. Nikki walking into that office mad that Diane is there. And did you hear Victor? He was pretty much like, yeah, I asked her here. And she was like, well, I don't want you messing with Jack or something like that. And he was like, I do what I want to.
Yo, oh, wow. That right there. And you know what? Victor also touched on the fact that he and Diane used to be married. He's like, I know you better than anyone. Like, I know how you move, how you operate. And I'm like, I'm wondering.
Do you think they could? I hope they don't do what
I think they might. Why not?
Why would you get involved with her? And then what? Send Nikki over to Jack?
I mean, Jack was voluntarily going to Nikki last year.
Oh, Lord. I guess.
I mean,
that's one part of a storyline if they use for November sweeps that I am not interested in.
I mean, I would love to see. Could you imagine the reaction from everybody? Diane and Victor getting together. How the kids are going to react. How Kyle's going to react. Like, everybody. I can definitely see that, especially Nikki. Oh, wow. Yeah. This right here could happen.
Like Cece said, oh God, no.
I mean, we don't want it, but the way it's painting out, I don't know. This is a strong possibility.
Hey, J Money. J Money said, who's that woman on the couch with Nate? That's Amy Lewis. Did you watch the episode? I don't know. Maybe he didn't get a chance to see the episode.
Yeah, she was revealing a major secret to Nate. He got a whole relative.
Yeah, you don't want to spoil it for him, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. So, all right. So, how many people we got in the chat, girl?
You guys, we got 117 in the chat. Thank you guys so much. But we only got 36 likes, y'all.
Oh, y'all got to get that like count up. Come on, y'all know better. I know y'all get caught up into our conversation, but you can hit that like button. It only takes a quick second to push the like button, and there you go. Then you can get back to listening. All right, girl. Where you want to start with Bold?
Oh my goodness, there's really only two storylines?
Okay, so let's start off with the confrontation of Steffy in that office with Hope and Brooke and Carter.
Mm-hmm.
What you think?
I can understand why Steffi's on the defense, and I understand that she was like, look, don't let Hope use you, Carter. I mean, sound advice from her.
Right.
But I feel like the way she was questioning, it just fuels the Logans and even Carter even more that, hey, they're right, that Steffi's making it personal, that she has a vendetta. I'm glad that she let him know where Eric and Rich stands on that. I just wish Hope would just shut up. Like, girl, just let it go. Just let it go. You're drawing more attention to yourself. And what for? Well, never mind. It's Hope. She likes attention.
Yeah, well, Steffi put both of them at that office and said, I need to talk to Hope. In the meantime, I was thinking, because remember he was talking about his ideas and stuff, right? And so Steffi told Carter, why don't you go and find out what Ridge and Eric thinks. I was thinking that's where he was going to go. He go downstairs in the studio room with Brooke. And I'm like, why y'all gotta have that conversation? I mean, that part to me was weird. If it was me, I would think Carter should go straight to Eric and Ridge and find out whatever Steffi's talking about and get the information on that. He went down there talking to Brooke.
Maybe that was a writer's flaw. I don't know, but I did not like that conversation that they had. That made me angry.
What you got on it?
This woman, for whatever reason, she feel as many conversations she's had with Hope, she really feels that anything that she had with Thomas was non-existent. Even though this girl was crying, this girl was wearing this man's ring around her neck. She was, she broke up her whole marriage for this man. And she just Brooke painted Thomas as just a mistake. That Liam didn't show any loyalty. And that's all that she respected out of Thomas, that she didn't love him. This woman said that she loved this man.
Wait, girl. Let's go back to history. She turned around and tried to make, and I agree with you because you're on point with that. But Brooke tried to make her look like the victim in all of this. Now, granted, Liam has to take accountability for the years past. But in 2023, that was Hope. That was fantasizing about Thomas. That was fantasizing about Thomas while sleeping with her husband. That had kissed this man in Rome. Then had a 4-day awakening only to come back to the house and then say, well, what you did, I forgave you, but you can't forgive me. Okay, well, here's a divorce. Then you go back over to Thomas for the next 7.5 months. And we had Brooke supporting that relationship. She backed off. But now she want to say, oh, she really didn't love him. She just loved the fact of the loyalty that Thomas gave her.
Yeah. And this is also the same woman who, Steffi was always opposed to Hope and Thomas getting together. She had no problem defending Hope and Thomas to Steffi. And saying like, oh, she always cared for Thomas. Like she would never string him along. Like there's genuine feelings there. And she had no problem with them hugged up and holding hands and dancing at family events and in the office. Like she had no problem like keeping them secrets for Hope. Yep. She can't sit here and say that thing that she had with Thomas never happened.
Right, it was
and that she didn't mean anything.
Right, a mistake is me knocking over a glass of water. Oops. But she didn't make no mistake from May of 2023 through February of 2024. That's not a mistake.
And even after this man left, she was boo-hoo, crying, distraught, can't work, can't eat, can't do anything. She's still blaming Steffi for that man leaving. If he didn't mean anything to her, why was she so pressed and worried about him? Why was she throwing herself at Finn to try to get over him?
Yeah, and then when Thomas came, is that the part you're talking about when Thomas came back in May with Paris? You were begging this man, be with me, don't be with her, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, Brooke, did somebody Jedi mind trick you or something? Because what you're saying and what actually happened, that don't line up.
Right. And she's letting Liam off the hook pretty much. She said she did. Yeah, she was like, Liam had some issues with, going back and forth between Hope and Steffi, and she just brushed that off. But and also last week she was telling Deacon that, I think Liam and Hope might get back together. I see them putting their family back together. Mm-hmm. That's the outcome that she wants. That's her favorite son-in-law ever. Mm-hmm. She will always back up Liam, and I cannot stand it.
Bree. You do remember over the past few weeks before she knew about Carter, she was hoping for her to get back with Liam.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? Who did she have that conversation with? Was it Deacon or somebody else, I think? But she was like, well, maybe she can work out her relationship with Liam. Maybe they can fix things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't. I think that actually was Deacon. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But either which way, she will forever cheerlead and champion. That's why she was always coaching her daughter for a course of 10 years. And when it came to Liam, she wanted her daughter to forget about all the cheating, all the lies, all the stuff back and forth. And that's why Hope always felt lost about why she's even committed to this man who was never loyal to her. That's why she was acting the way that she was, and to the point where she cheated on her precious Liam after she had him. She got bored with them. There was nothing to fight for. And plus, her mother wanted her to be with him more than she wanted to be with him. But that's just my personal opinion.
Yep, I agree. I mean, that whole conversation. And then here go Carter. I'm going to be there. Because she said you need to be with Hope. If you're going to be in with Hope, you need to be in 100%. And I'm sitting up there, Carter, like, oh yeah, I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect her. I'm going to be that guy that's going to be 100%. I'm like, you do realize you just got manipulated, right?
And he does realize that he can't even stand 10 toes down on what he says either, because he was going back and forth between woman to woman to woman. So, and not to mention that Brooke kept bringing up the fact, like, what happened to Katie? Like, you were just with her aunt. And he's like, oh, I didn't mean anything. His feelings for women are finicky. So, I mean, the fact that I think Brooke is just happy that it's not Finn. I think she's just happy. That's all she cares about. I don't think she's going to take this seriously. Same way Hope is not taking Carter seriously like that either.
Yeah. Now, let's knock this out the way. We did see Ivy decide to come in and repitch her jury line to Ridge, and they accepted, which no surprise there, because the purpose of bringing Electra in is to, I guess, get with Will or whoever, you know what I mean?
But absolutely.
I just wish that they would write this in a way where Steffy and Ivy are not at odds. I would want them as the Forrester side of this thing. So there's a little bit where she can have... Remember how we always were saying we wish Steffy would have had a girlfriend to hang out with, or, you know, her sister is gone. This would be a nice bridge if she could reconcile the relationship with her cousin.
I think, it's a two-way street. I think Ivy's willing to do that. I think Steffy needs to get over whatever residual issues that she had with Ivy, especially when it comes to Liam. Her issue with Ivy is about Liam. They have made that abundantly clear. And neither woman is with that man for years. So I think if Steffy can grow up a little bit when it comes to that, she can actually have some Forresters on her side. And Eric was actually, they're making it very apparent that this is about to be a Forrester company. They're about to do a clean sweep of these Logans and anyone who support Logans. I can see that now. He kept saying, like, we need more Forresters around here. I'm like, they dropping little seeds.
Yeah, but you remember the conversation yesterday. You weren't on that, and I think we were talking in the chat, but the Forresters made it perfectly clear that is their company, and they're going to do what they want with their company, and it's going to be our decision. And they actually said in yesterday's episode, who care what Carter thinks?
Yep, they made that abundantly clear. And Carter better come to grips with the fact that he is just an employee. Like, I'm all for this man, you know, doing his job. And even Eric said that that's part of his job as a COO, to try to want to expand and try to, you know, find ways to bring money into the company and innovate. He understands that. But as far as legacy goes, I'm so sick of this word being thrown around, and they don't know, some of the characters don't know what that really means. Like Lily. Like, that is their the Forresters are a family business. and Carter's last name is not Forrester. He is just an employee. If he wants his legacy, he's going to have to start his own brand. And if he has the money, if he had the money to want to invest into those projects that he was talking about, then surely he has the money to start his own business.
All right, go ahead on, Devon. I'm calling you Devon because that's the same conversation similarly to what he was trying to tell Lily last week.
Yep. So I'm all for it, but I mean, make it make sense for you. That's what I'm trying to drive home. That's why I keep getting so upset with Lily whenever I watch. I'm like, girl, you talking about Chancellor? They don't even care about you. They're not thinking about you like that. You're not family. Like, if you're talking about legacy, think about your legacy. What is your last name? Winters. That is your legacy.
Exactly. But, okay, so after the conversation, Ivy has a jury line. Rich said he's going to talk to Steffy, blah, 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 right? Then we had the conversation back in the design room where Steffy is confronting her about what's going on. Why the sudden connection with Carter? And she tap dances and give all of this word salad about, oh, we're just friends. And, what you're accusing me is highly unethical, that I'm, actually being I'm like, girl, you just got off the desk. What are you talking about?
You know what? They've been highlighting ethics and making things too personal and not focusing on professionalism. And that's why when Carter walked in after he heard what Steffy was talking about and kind of dangling Hope's line in front of her face, that man put his lawyer hat on. Something's about to happen with some legalities, and the difference between Carter and Lily is Carter is actually a lawyer, and he knows the ins and outs of that company, and also he can get his witnesses up. This is not going to end well. If they end up, because I honestly feel they're about to fire this man. They're about to fire this man, and I think Rich is going to co-sign with that.
Yeah.
I honestly feel it might be like wrongful firing or wrongful something, but we see the start of a really big feud between Steffy and Carter, and I think some legalities are about to come into play with that, but that's just my theory.
Well, Bridget Jackson, and I just pinned her comment, she said she sent it directly to you and I. She tagged us. She said, I'm calling it now. Steffy is going to slash Hope for the Future reluctantly for the reboot of the jury line and will treat Ivy worse than she ever did Hope. What do you think about that?
I think that is correct. I wish I can give you a round of applause.
Oh, wait, Bridget. Hold on. I can give her a round of applause. Give me a second.
Okay.
There you go.
That's the comment of the day. That is correct. I highly agree with that, because where are they going to get the money for the jewelry line? So I think that, like, I have a whole huge theory. I'll definitely share it tomorrow night. But I do agree they're going to get rid of Hope for the Future, and I think that's definitely going to upset Brooke. And I also think they're going to get rid of Carter. I think something's really about to brew, and it makes me wonder if there's some legalities that are going to come into play, or we might get a new business venture coming into play. But as I'll share more tomorrow.
Well, Jay is in the comment, and he said Carter knows the ins and out of the company, but he wants to know the ins and out of Hope.
You know what? That's as far as Carter's going to get with Hope, because she's using this man.
So let me ask you this, Bree. Do you think that, okay, once just say Steffy cuts the line for the jury line, because they need to, obviously, in order to fund the jury line, they're going to need to cut Hope. You can't have both, right?
Right.
Do you think that Hope, because he couldn't save the line, that she'll be done with him?
I don't think there would be much interest for her to want to be with him. I mean, plus she's going to find a shoulder to cry on, and we know Liam's available.
That's only if Ivy don't get involved with Liam, right? Or I guess he could have more of an interest in Hope than Ivy.
Exactly. I honestly feel, especially since he's made a declaration that she's the prettiest girl over at Forrester, he's leaving that shoulder open for her versus Ivy. Unless he feels like he's that guy from 10 years ago and he wants to play two in the middle, he's going to end up siding with Hope and wanting to be there for Hope.
Yeah.
Because she's going to feel like it's not fair that Steffi did this. She's going to cry and complain to Liam about this. I don't think she'll really give Carter two thoughts except to just use him to sleep with him. That's about it.
So I thought because the last time we heard Steffi use that whole leverage of her line over her not kissing Finn, we hadn't heard that since probably mid-September, I think it was, or maybe even earlier than that. And I'm surprised that she's still on that. And I mean, there's been no indication. We haven't even seen Finn in about a week.
It's been a little minute.
I'm assuming that Tanner is probably on a break or something, you know.
I think, wasn't he like filming like a Christmas movie or something?
He probably doing other projects right now.
Yeah, but either which way, this is Steffi, stop being so insecure. She and Brooke got more in common than they realized.
Her, Brooke, and Victor Newman.
Yes, Victor most of all. He there's no cure for his insecurity whatsoever. But
I don't agree. That's the part I don't agree with. Stop bringing, well, you know, if you kiss I mean, she wasn't supposed to kiss the girl's husband. But I didn't like it when she said it the first time. It's like, girl, I mean, your man said he didn't want her. Why are you all up in Hope's face talking about, you know, if you kiss my husband again, I'm going to cut your line. And then that's when Carter walks in and he is crashing out over this girl. And some people didn't like the way he was expressing himself. What did you think about that?
I honestly don't think this man cares about his job like that anymore. I think that if he can stay, he can stay. If he's able to go, he'll go. But that man had his lawyer hat on when he spoke to Steffi. She didn't like that. And that's understandable. And she's like, look, I'm still your boss. But at the same time, Steffi, that's still a lawyer at the end of the day. And he's been taking full account of how the business ethics have been wavering a lot, and he was also witnessing to the fact that this girl was dangling this girl's employment, her livelihood, in Hope's face there, and that's unethical. Now, and I honestly feel this is not going to look good on Steffi in the long run if anything were to come into play. And say Hope wanted to sue her, or Carter would like to try to sue for like wrongful firing if he gets fired. Like, it's just, she cannot keep going around making that threat. I mean, everybody knows about the threat too.
I'm wondering if she's actually going to fire him. They might cut the line. I think he might quit,
which would be stupid. Because I'm like, sir, you're a lawyer. You know, get fired, get your severance package.
Yeah.
And go about your day. But I honestly think they're going to fire him. I think that's the decision that Rich is going to co-sign Steffi on, because he's not going to tolerate anyone speaking anyway to Steffi. He's just not. Best friend included. So I think they're writing this to where there's going to be like a new outlook for Carter. And who knows, he could work for Bill, or he can like pitch his ideas to Bill and Bill can fund it. There's a lot of different things that can come into play.
My thing is, he acting like this now. He hasn't even slept with the girl yet.
Right.
I mean,
fans did not want this for him.
No, I mean, I thought it would just be something just like a growing relationship, but this dude is crashing out.
Yeah.
I mean, the way he was talking to Hope when Steffi left, and she said, hey, I'm the CEO and blah, blah, blah. He closed his, he got quiet then. But when he had that conversation with her and about pretty much, I'm going to do anything for you and I'll protect you. And I'm like, and this girl is looking at him like, wow. I don't know if she was expecting this much energy from him.
No.
So soon.
Yeah, and he kind of needs to calm himself down, because they could easily say that he's having an inappropriate relationship with Hope. But at the same time, there's nothing but inappropriate relationships throughout that company and throughout the years. Mm-hmm. So if he gets fired for that, he could easily point that out too.
Well, Keith dropped something in the comments in the chat about if they try to, it's something she put in there, and I can't switch over, and I know you can't either because it'll probably take you out of this chat.
Who said it?
Keith. Keith said something in the chat about ethics and kissing Finn. Do you see that comment?
I can't see that.
Yeah, it's probably going to be hard being that we're on this call.
Yeah. I'll check it out here in a second. But, I get that. They've all broken that ethics. Like, there's just no moral high ground for any of them.
Nope.
So that's going to look stupid on Steffy's part, because if it came down to that, she had an opportunity to fire Hope. She really did. And she still kept her around because, once again, she's part of the family. It's a family business. Mm-hmm. And there's no professionalism. And they're really driving that home with Carter's storyline. So that man had that lawyer hat on, and it makes me wonder what's about to come between Steffy and Carter. I don't know, but I'm excited for it.
And the last thing before we end the call, and we'll talk more about because who knows what's going to happen on the Wednesday episode. I'm curious to figure out about this whole thing, because I mean, there's shares involved. What if there is a situation, because there was questions about whether people are combining shares, but that was only if Eric was not going to agree. Look like Eric is Team Forrester. You know what I mean? Because beforehand, a lot of the way that the spoilers were written, it was almost like it was going to be people taking sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was the consensus that maybe Steffy would probably be the odd man out, and then she would get mad. And the decision that's coming up on Friday that Ridge supports, there was some folks thinking that it would have been him maybe teaming up with with Steffy to combine their shares to supersede something or whatever. Well, obviously that doesn't look like that's going to be the case, because Eric is on both Steffy and Ridge's side on this matter.
It's Team Forrester.
It's Team Forrester, yep.
They're going to do a clean sweep of the Logans. Something tells me if they get rid of Hope for the future, Brooke is gone. She gonna leave.
Oh, she gonna be pissed. That's what's gonna happen. She gonna be pissed. Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Yeah, that confrontation with Steffy and Brooke is going. It's gonna be really, really good. And then her precious destiny is not gonna come through anymore. They're there because she's expecting Rich to always be on Brooke's side.
Yep.
So what's Brooke gonna do when he sides with his daughter? I know that door might be open for her and Bill. Who knows? There's a lot of things that up in the air that could happen, and I'm excited for it because they definitely need something, because their contract ends in March. They need to do something.
I'm wondering though, Bree, have they been listening? Like we always say, to be listening to the podcast, because we've been saying for the longest that we need other Forresters over there. That's only if they repair the relationship with Ivy and Steffy, but they did need some extra Forresters over there.
I think they've been listening, and they've been kind of watering down the stuff that we've been asking for. So we know you guys are listening. We know, because even recently I was asking for Phyllis to get involved with her granddaughter's life, and would you know, She acknowledged her grandchild. We had a full episode of her and her grandchild. She's hugging her. She's kissing her. She's acknowledging her.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know? They listen.
They was
know
listening,
they listen.
girl. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Angela said November sweeps is going to be sweeping.
Yes, it is. I cannot wait. Now, writers, producers, can you listen to us and put Audra and Adam together? What are y'all waiting on?
I know. Melissa Spencer says that she read that Brooke resigns and take the Belief formula, and her bedroom line writes, and Bill helps her start her own fashion house.
That is, see,
that would be a huge November sweep.
We on the same wavelength. That was my prediction. I want this to happen so badly. And of course, Carter's a lawyer. He gonna help her out too.
What if they shift the dynamics and Brooke, Hope, and Carter head over to Spencer?
That's definitely not gonna happen.
What do you mean? You don't think that can happen?
I don't think they would work underneath Spencer unless the fashion house is going to be underneath the Spencer umbrella, which that's a possibility.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they use the idea that she was just saying with Brooke bringing her formulas and all that stuff over there, and he creates a whole little business for her, Hope will definitely go over there and work for her. She don't have a leg to stand on over at Forrester right now without her mama. And then Carter, his nose is so wide open that he'll probably follow Hope.
And you know what? That's going to create conflict right there because Liam's over there. And if Hope gets over there, then that's going to slowly put those two back together. Oh, man. That would be a great November sweeps in comparison to last year.
Now, Jenna said that she lost the patents to the Belief thing years ago.
They can. That's the thing about the writing. They can rewrite and say such and such. Same way they said that Summer has legal adoption rights to Harrison. You see how they magically wrote that in? They could easily say that Brooke has the rights to Belief, and plus Carter's a lawyer. He can probably finagle that way to where she gets the rights and she goes.
So I'm seeing a lot of different comments that Belief formula is no longer Brooke. So they said some people are saying it's now Forrester Creations property. She doesn't own the patent. There is no patent anymore. So it's a lot of different comments about that in there. So, but that bedroom line, the bedroom line belonged to Forrester, right? It's not just hers. Am I correct?
She can remove herself as the face of the company.
That is true.
And so they can't use her notoriety. But as far as the Belief, like I said, the writers can write it however they choose to. Like Ivy magically has a brother and she had a sister, but now she has a brother. So they can write things however they choose to fit their narrative. And plus they think that we're stupid as fans.
Yeah, they can change anything. You're right about that because it's all about writing at the end of the day. The storylines are started from who writes it.
Yep. So I would not put it past them for them to write it to where Brooke has her control of the Belief patent and then she goes elsewhere and that affects the Forrester brand. Like anything could happen. I just want some really good November sweeps from Bold, especially since they got 5 months left.
Who is that just wrote that? Oh, Gail Lewis said that the Forresters and the Logans remind her of the Hatfields and the McCoys. What do you think?
Just messier.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah, girl, it's gonna be. We got a good sweeps month coming ahead for both soaps.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that because the sweeps previous months have been lackluster. May sweeps, February sweeps, and the November sweeps from 2023. It was just, to me, I did not like the Eric bloody saved by Christmas storyline. I didn't like that. The Jordan storyline was good, but it was the only storyline in the month of November last year. But it was good. February, we had the whole RJ, Luna, and Zende thing. We had 3 weeks of February of that, and then Sheila came back, and Thomas left.
Boo! I wonder if he had his baby yet. I am looking forward to see how the end of the year is going to go, and plus, like, if there's all this animosity, who's going to sit down for Thanksgiving?
Oh, dang, that is true. If this families are split in half, because most of everybody come over to Eric's for the holiday.
Mm-hmm. And the Logans are already intertwined with the Forresters. So they gonna really put the difference aside for some turkey? I can't see that.
Mm-hmm. I gave you an A, guys. I forgot to give the grade for Young and the Restless.
Oh yeah, A for actually an A minus
for YNR.
For YNR, and for Bold, I'm gonna give it a B minus.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, girl, midweek tomorrow, we'll see what happens, and I know you have a lot to say tomorrow night.
Yes, I'll have a lot to say tomorrow night because I will not be on this Friday, you guys.
That is correct. You sure won't be on Friday.
Yeah, my son has surgery on Thursday, which is Halloween. So I'll make sure I'll run my mouth all of Wednesday so you guys can not feel empty without me there on Friday.
Yeah.
But I know T's going to hold it down, and who knows, might show up.
Yeah, who knows? I might have to have some conversations and see. By the way, I think I did tell you guys, I did hear from Trish, and she wants to be back for the November 8th Friday night show.
Oh, right in the middle of the sweeps.
Yeah, so I know she's been going through a lot since mid-September, and it's just one day at a time. But she'll be back. Well, she planned, because leave it open, never know. But she said that she planned to be back on 11/8, and you'll be back on 11/8.
Yeah, so it's going to be a full house on the 8th. I'm glad that she's coming back, and thank you all for the thank yous and the prayers. Yeah, he's having 2 surgeries that we just found out. So he's having 2 surgeries on Thursday. So thank you so much. I gladly accept the prayers and the well wishes. Thank you.
Okay, for you guys, because Sandra asked me this question. Let me pin it. So, hold on. So Sandra asked me to show some of the handbags. You can, if you follow me on Whatnot, I'm over there on Whatnot, and I do live shows over there every Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m.
Nice.
So if you and they're all pre-owned designer.
You just got businesses. You got all this stuff going on, T.
Girl, listen.
You building your own legacy.
Shut up. Girl, you are so funny. So yeah, if you guys are familiar with Whatnot, then that's where you don't have it. Hold on, let me see if I can share the link. I'll share the link right now in the chat for those that can go over there and follow me. Give me 1 second. Copy link. Hopefully it'll let me copy and paste, because sometimes it be acting crazy. Hold on.
You can always put it in the community too.
Let's see. Did it say? Oh, there it is. Okay, so there it is. Yeah, so if you click on there, if you go over there, you can follow me, and then I go live every Sunday morning.
Angela said you need to hire Carter. I don't know. Would you let Carter talk to you the way Steffy talked to Steffy?
You're silly. Oh man, yeah, I run auctions over there, so we have a lot of fun. I have a small community over there that come over there every day looking to shop. So, all right, you guys. Okay, so until tomorrow, you guys have a great day, and we will see you guys later. Bye, Soapies.
Bye, Soapies. Hit the like button, please.